Hey everyone, I'm Alison.
I'm Bryce,
and we're Better Half Reviews. And we're giving our first impressions about the Dragon Prince Battlecharged. It's coming from Brotherwise Games. This is coming to retail in the fall, but we got a chance to play a prototype copy and try it out.
And the reason why we're doing a first impressions is because we're passing it on today to someone else to review. So we've only been able to play it a couple times, and these are our first impressions of it.
So what did you like about the game?
Well, I love that there's a Dragon Prince game. I love the show. It's just a fun show, and I love having all the little characters and a deck of cards that really reflect who that character is.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me, so not necessarily game-wise, but you know how like with Silliness, it's like you're a Disney fan, and it's so cool to have all those cool Disney cards or whatever with the different card art, like from the movies and everything. I'm like, look, it's from the show. Look at all of these. Look at the minis. Look at the boards. And that's kind of what I would say, like, same feel of like, oh, it's sweet to have a Dragon Prince game for the few days, weeks that we had it. I don't know. It's fun to try it out, different combinations with the different characters. In all honesty, I am bad at this game.
Well, we've only played it a handful of times.
I've lost every time.
Well, okay, the first time, I think I got really lucky with my combination because there were two characters that worked pretty well together. The second time, I had more of an idea of like, oh, these characters can go well together because they have similar symbols and can use cards.
And I was like, I want to put these guys together. Ooh, I want to use these people together. And I stayed with all the good guys. And I just had a few times of like bad timing with cards where one of my people just felt almost useless because I was like, I need these cards, but I don't have any of these. So like I had Ezrin who, he runs away a lot and doesn't do much damage, but when he does, he can do a lot. But I really needed to charge up, I think it was on Maya or something, but I couldn't get her anywhere near battle, or it was so hard and frustrating, but anyway.
I do like how I kind of mentioned this, but the individual player powers kind of reflect who those characters are. Viren can damage himself to recharge himself.
Yeah.
It's really hard because you're like, okay, I'm really trying to balance how much life I take away versus how much damage I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I take away too much life, I need to figure out another way to like recharge my abilities, which he doesn't have very many cards to do that.
Well, in that same game where he's just like, I'll just damage myself to use more things, I'm all like, I just keep getting damaged and I'm trying to like not die, and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna hurt myself. But anyway, but yeah, so like with Ezrin, he can use creatures to like help him out, and that was kind of a cool like combination. So sometimes he doesn't have a lot of health or a lot of charge, but some of his abilities can like extend further than you would think. But yeah, so it was kind of cool. Give it a try.
I also like the different maps. Some of them are more open, and then some of them are like buildings, and so you're running in and out of buildings, and it really does change the feel of a battle.
Yeah, so like we have this one that's mostly open. There's a little white circle square things. That's stuff that you have to like jump over, like rocks or trees but so yeah, it was fun to try out open maps because I thought the open map would be good to do for like the first part of the game. Be like, I just want to like run around and try to do stuff. But yeah, the map with the rooms, that was so hard. And he was like using them super well, and I wasn't. I'm like, just leave me alone. I'm trying to get away.
Yeah, like I positioned myself well so I could like peek into a room, and I had a ranged attack, and then like move just outside the door. So even if you like ran up to the door, you couldn't see me, and then you were like super close, so I could hit you again.
Yep. Yeah. Do you have a favorite character?
No, I don't think I've played with them enough to really figure out a favorite character. I
think I really like Ezrin's, but I want to try a combo with different characters to see what would work well. Because I like what he can do.
I like how hard hitting this I forget the character's name. Janai, the fire elf, hits and can do some really interesting things.
And then what about components? How do you feel about the components of the game?
I like these minis. They feel pretty sturdy. The cards do feel a little like cheap and easy to bend or nick the corners or whatever.
They're not linen finish or anything, but I thought they were pretty decent for what they are. This is a pre-production copy.
Well, true.
But, I don't see much wear and tear after us playing it, and then someone else had it before us. And then I love these dice. They're just really cool, like, bluey, sheen, marbly-ness. I wish I could, like, roll them. In the game, it's just your counter, so you're counting it down or up. I'm like, I want to roll these things, but...
It'd be interesting if they had a character that had, like, a luck ability. Where you could roll it, just figure out how many cards you could get.
And speaking of luck ability, there is a decent amount of luck in this, depending on what cards you end up drawing. When you play 2-player, you pick 2 characters, and they each have their own deck of cards. So if you have these 2 characters, you're going to shuffle them in together and draw out cards. Some cards have pictures of the actual character, so only that person can use it. Other cards have like a symbol, so a handful of characters can use it, and other cards like don't have symbols at all, meaning anyone can use it.
And when she says symbol, it's like there's this dark magic symbol, so all the dark magic users could use the same one.
Yeah, so like those symbols. I kind of wish there was another elf or something. I know Rayla is mostly like the only one, but like she's the only one with the moon symbol.
Well, so there's 2 dark magic users, 1 fire magic, 1 moon magic,
elf.
And then 1 sky mage.
And then the rest are blank.
The rest are non-magic users. So
more characters?
I was going to say one thing would be you could have more characters, especially having like the 2 dark magic users on the same team when you're playing 2-player. You could interchange the cards.
Yeah.
But since you only have 1 fire magic person, like those cards can't be interchanged.
Yeah.
So one thing that I would love to see is like an expansion with more characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that probably depends on the success of how this goes. But yeah, I would love more characters to try out. Because right now, like with these 2 with the dark magic together, be like, you can't play with those together. No, thank you. I already lose badly. I would just die. I don't know. So that's thoughts with that. And you can play with 2 to 6 players, so you can do different combinations of teams and all of that. I think it was pretty fun for what we did. The first game felt a little bit hard playing 2 characters at once, even though I knew who they were. A lot of the cards are pretty unique. So you're like, okay, reading through them, what am I going to do? When am I going to do it? So if I could go back, my first game, I would like to play just as 1 character. But usually that's, if you're doing a 4-player game, then you would do 1 character each and you can play teams. But yeah, I feel like that would have been a little bit easier to manage for a first game.
So how do you think this compares to, say, Unmatched? Again, another game kind of similar that we played recently.
Unmatched is maybe a little bit easier because in Dragon Prince you have a little bit more freedom of like movement and I don't know, the maps are way more open, so you have different types of range, and I like the mechanic of the dice with your abilities and charging them up, so that adds another dynamic to the game. So I would say Dragon Prince is a little bit more challenging to try to figure out and play. Thematically, well, I guess there's a ton of different Unmatched. I really love Dragon Prince, so it's like, oh, this scratches that itch. But I mean, Unmatched does that too. But if I want to have a little bit more freedom and cool minis, no, they have cool minis too. Dang it, I don't know.
So I agree. Dragon Prince, I think, has a little bit more to think about in your games. Like you could hide behind certain elements on the board, but those can be jumped over sometimes, or there's buildings to dodge in and out of. You're also kind of managing the charge ability. But I see Unmatched has all sorts of different IPs.
That's true.
So you could be
anything,
Velociraptors, or you could be Deadpool, or you could be Bigfoot, whatever. So I could see that being maybe more attractive to someone.
It has more options currently,
More options. But I really like the gameplay of the Dragon Prince. I'm just worried that something like Unmatched would have more playability in the long run, just because there's more options, more variability you can have from game to game.
Yeah, I can totally see that. But I see this kind of like the same way I see Villainous is like if you like the theme and you kind of like the gameplay at least, then it's like, yeah, I'm going to get this.
That's true. And I'm not saying like you're going to play this twice and feel like you're done with it. No, there's still a lot to do, a lot to play. I'm just thinking...
Option-wise, yeah.
Option-wise, like, if you're going to play this every day for a year, you might get more out of Unmatched than you would, bang for your buck than you would maybe this.
Yeah, maybe then I'd actually beat you. But yeah, so I can see like the similarities and the differences. They still feel different enough that I would own both of them. But yeah, so for me, it's like having a Dragon Prince game on my shelf. It's just really cool feeling. I know we're gonna be passing this on, but yeah, I love Dragon Prince, so it's just like, oh, there's a game. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I could see us getting this when it comes out.
Well, if we pre-order it. So there's different options. I know they have a promo pack if you pre-order it, but by the time that we get this out, the pre-orders are probably done with. But you can probably get it afterwards, maybe. It's a Dark Callum pack, so if you watch the show, Callum does dark magic once or something. And so it comes with a different card for him and different abilities and stuff. So I wanted to try that out. We didn't get to it. I don't know, maybe we'll squeeze in one more game before we hand it off, but probably not. But yeah, so there's just different options, and I'm curious to see what comes in the future.
So tell us, what are your thoughts? Do you like Dragon Prince? Who's your favorite character from the TV show?
Yeah, and what do you think about this game? All right, so I'm Allison.
I'm Bryce, and we're Better Half Reviews.
Happy gaming.
Have fun. Oh, that's Claudia. Who cares about her?
I like Claudia.
She's the outcast elf.
Shmurp. And we swap sides, just for fun. Needs to be close to Callum.
They did kiss.
It's Raylum. Shipping them.